All right, we got another good one. So this lady, I'm gonna mess up her name, so I'm gonna wait till she says it. But I think her first name is pronounced Chisholm. She's Nigerian. Um, Oko Okwalihi, 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 something like that. All right, we're gonna see how close I was. We're gonna see how close I was in a minute. But she quit her job that was making six figures and went full time in her side hustle, bringing in over $400,000 a year. So let's see how she. Hopefully, she describes how she the business that she built, and then she's gonna talk about how she spends her money. All right, it's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
Growing up in a Nigerian household, it was emphasized to us to either become an engineer, a doctor, or a lawyer. Out of all my siblings who are engineers, I was the only one who studied architecture.
That's facts. My wife is Nigerian, by the way, and yep, that's how they're raised. You're gonna get out there and you're gonna make something of yourself for sure. And she definitely did. Jeez.
In the firms I was working in, I felt that we were catering to the elites, and I felt that I needed to do something that helps like an everyday individual, like a homeowner or someone who just needs someone to come into their house and renovate their bathroom. So I decided to start Gentero. My name is Chisom Okulehe. I am 35 years old, and I
got the first part right. I couldn't really hear.
Okulehe. I am 35 years old. My name is Chisom Okulehe. I am 35 years old, and I make 160.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, but Chisom. Congrats. Let's give her a round of applause. All right, let's get to it.
I am 35 years old, and I make $163,000 a year as an architectural designer. So Gentero basically is a consulting firm where we...
Oh, okay. So I was wrong. I thought I read that she quit her job. She didn't quit her job. She's got her side hustle. I mean, we'll see. I think both with her job and the side hustle, combined income is $400K. So my bad, but same thing. still getting to the bag.
Hire architects, interior designers, graphic designers, and photo editors. Last year, Gentero Design brought in more than $400,000 in revenue. Right now, I have about 60 clients in the US. Right now, I don't actually have a physical office. I just use my home office. It allowed me to spend more time focusing on client management, social media, marketing, and studying, reading, and spending more time with my family. So I'm a first-generation Nigerian American born and raised in California. In Nigeria, there was a civil war called the Biafra War where they were killing millions of Igbos. I'm from the Igbo tribe. My dad actually was a refugee from Nigeria during the Biafra War. So he actually took the last plane from Nigeria to the US. My first architectural job was at Perkins Eastman, which is the largest architectural firm in New York. It was mainly a 9 to 5 job, but as I started to receive more responsibilities, I noticed that I would be doing like a 12-hour shift. I would come home and there was no daylight. I needed a change in lifestyle, so I decided to move to the public sector. So my husband and I, we share a joint account, and the way we approach finances in our household is that he takes care of the investments accounts for himself and our children, and then I take care of the childcare expenses and investments for myself as well.
So they got a pretty solid setup. I think what their process and everything needs to be shared uh a lot because um they're both she's definitely making good money. I would assume he's making some decent money as well. Um and they're coming at it at a practical from a practical standpoint, right? They like she said, they pretty much split up the bills, joint account, and they making it work, and um I'm sure you all hear a lot of the relationships, especially when it comes around finance, with one person taking care of a majority of X, Y, and Z, and in most cases, it's not practical, and in most cases, people are not making the kind of money they're making. If she's doing 400,000, let's just say he's doing half what she's doing. They got a $600,000 income, which I'm sure we'll see here in a little bit. Um, like they got a lot of money coming in, and they still splitting the bills up and doing it in a practical manner. Um, let's take a look at this though. Subscriptions is low, insurance is low, healthcare low, food low. Like they really taking care of business. I mean, even their housing is low for what area did they say they were in? Dang, I missed that. I know they said she was raised in the Bay Area, but I'm not sure if she's. Let me see if I can find it real quick. We'll come back to this. 322. Let's see. I know it said 2017. Let me see. Said they bought their house in 2017. Let me see if I can find it. Nah, I can't find it. I can't find. Oh, here we go. 2017, they bought their house. Oh, it still doesn't say. It still doesn't say where though. So yeah, I'm not sure where, um, but it's clear that their housing is affordable. 3,400 on their income. 3,500 is super affordable. And childcare. Ooh, childcare is high, man. Oh man, I don't have kids yet, but I'm planning it, and I'm not looking forward to that. Damn, childcare almost as as much as they housing. So I guess that would make sense why everything else got to be low. You got to make it fit. Um, and I think this is just her spending. I'm not sure. Discretionary 655, pension savings 660. Oh, she got them student loans, $2,000 a month. Y'all see that? I'd be curious to know what the total amount of her student loans is. $2,000 a month, and I'm just guessing that it's student loans. It says debt repayment, but with her career field, I'm pretty sure that's student loans. But damn, $2,000 a month in debt. You got between debt and children, you for over $4,000. That's wild. Yeah, that house is gonna have to be 3,400. Oh, you know what? And I'm just thinking, I wonder if this is the full mortgage or half. They bought it for six something in 2017. This is probably the full mortgage. I don't see I don't see that being half. I don't see their mortgage being $7,000 on a $650,000 house that they bought in 2017, unless they got it on like a 15-year fixed rate. I'm pretty sure that's a 3,400 a $3,500 that's their entire mortgage. All right, let's move on. Let's see.
Myself as well.
4,600. So that was all those things were half. Jeez. Childcare ain't 2,300 a month, it's 4,600 a month. Oh, that's wild. They got two kids. Why is it so expensive?
We both pay for the mortgages because we do have a mortgage on our primary home and the lot that we purchased. And we both also pay for like groceries and utilities.
Okay, so uh, that would make sense then as to why the mortgage side was so high because they have two properties. So I like that math wasn't adding up. So they got over $1 million worth of properties, so that makes sense. $7,000 a month. 400, it said 400 and some change on a lot and 675 on their home if I read that properly. Yeah, 450,000 in New York. I wonder if their home is in New York too.
Like groceries and utilities. Last year, the revenue that we generated from Gentero went mostly into high yield savings account after we paid ourselves. I honestly believe in the idea of living within your means, and I'm also aware that there are taxes that you have to pay. So a lot of the money that I saved was not only for the business, but also for my children and our future goals, and also a separate amount for coming taxes.
$173,000 in student loan debt. That's not bad for her income. It sounds like, just based on the wording, it sounds like the husband is working the business as well. I'd be curious. Hopefully, they break that down if he's working outside of that. Either way, their income is 400 plus thousand. They got 300,000 in savings. They got two pieces of property. They doing their thing. I'm not mad at it. Um, And then if they're doing $2,000 a month towards that, I'd be curious if that's both of the no, because that thing was hers. So I wonder if she's putting all of that towards this, which actually would make sense if she want to be aggressive. You've heard me say it before on other videos. People who have $100,000 worth of debt, they're not paying enough on a monthly basis to even put a dent in that. Right, $2,000 a month, $24,000 a year. Still gonna take her some years, um, but but she can move the needle at $24,000 a year. A lot of people try and pay 500 a month. You're not moving the needle. You're gonna look up in 10 years. You're still gonna be $150,000 in debt.
As a senior architect at Port Authority, I mainly do infrastructure projects, which include train stations and airports. One of the projects that I worked on is the JFK Terminal 1 project. The main project that I have now is a train station, the Harrison project in New Jersey. One thing my parents always told me is that if you're going to purchase a home and one of your spouses dies, one of you have to be able to cover the mortgage. At that moment, I felt that my income at Port Authority was not sufficient enough to cover the mortgage. My idea was that, okay, let me take a little project here and there and earn some extra income. So as I was taking a bunch of side gigs, I remember the first project I had was like $20, and this is more about graphic design where I'm creating ads for my first client, which was Indeed.com.
I wanna quickly comment on one of the things she said right there. I'm glad that she went the route that she went, but typically the situation she described is the reason why it's important for us to have life insurance. Okay, if your spouse passes away, and you both have life insurance. For example, you both have $1 million in life insurance. You're able to invest that $1 million and live off of the interest. So if the interest on your investment is, we'll say 10% for easy math, that's $100,000 a year that you get without ever touching the million. You get $100,000 a year in income to help you with your mortgage and other expenses. This is why it's very, very, very important for us to not only get life insurance, but to get the life insurance that matches our income. So for her, an example, and I know there's we're not really sure exactly how it's sliced up in their household income wise, but we'll just say she's making $400,000. Then her goal would be to have $4 million worth of insurance. She wants 10 times at least. I think it was 10 to 12 is what I've heard. 10 to 12 times her income in order to replace her income if something were to happen to her, right? So if something happens to her, she's got a $4 million policy, boom, her husband gets it, he invested, he gets about 10% of his investment of $4 million, and boom, he's got $400,000 in income per year to replace her income and take care of everything as if she was there. So all that to say, that was what she was told, what she was told, and it kind of scared her into, in a sense, I don't want to say scared her, it kind of lit a fire under her to go and get a side hustle and start making some money. I would prefer this way over getting life insurance, or she should do both, because I'm always going to be an advocate of getting out and figuring out and getting to the bag. So, but either way, she's winning, and I'm sure she's got life insurance as well because they sound like they're pretty smart.
I was doing, let's say, like 70% of the work, and then I will outsource the remaining 30% of the work. But I noticed that it was interfering with most of my time over the weekend because I still had my 9-to-5 job. So if a client comes to me, I could come up with a concept and then share that concept with a team member, and then he or she would do the entire production work where I would just oversee or QA/QC their work. Some architectural firms spend money on renderings, but a lot of times those renderings are very conceptual. I feel that my company is different. It's photorealistic. It actually looks real. So every little thing that you see in the rendering, you can actually go to the store and buy it. And it's also based off of your actual dimensions of your space. In the next few years, I'm hoping that Gentera will grow as a business, and we would create partnerships with developers in New York, New Jersey, or anywhere else in the United States. I'm I'm hoping that, my husband and I will be able to build our home in the next year or two. We're planning on traveling more abroad once the children get a little older and going back to our usual ways of traveling to different countries here and there. My approach to money has drastically changed. I strongly emphasize on the importance of generational wealth, which translates to investments. We've been looking into like 529s, 401ks, and then in the future, we're going to talk about creating a trust, because our main goal is to create this generational wealth for our children.
As it should be. As it should be. Let's give him another round of applause. Yeah, that's dope. The only thing that I would say that I would question, hopefully she watches this video one day and comments, but the only thing I will question is why not take they have 300 and some thousand in savings and 175 in student loans. Why not um take 175, get rid of those student loans and just be done with or the debt. Oh no, 175 in student loans, yeah. So why not just pay that and then build back up your savings? I don't really understand that aspect. You'll free up $2,000 a month in your home budget, or you can put $2,000 a month back into your savings. Me personally, I would feel more comfortable not having the debt uh, and having less savings because it wouldn't kill your savings all the way off. You'd still have roughly $150,000 in savings. So I would rather have the less amount of savings and zero student loans or zero debt while I'm building out this business and I have all these other things than holding on to that debt. I don't really understand that. But outside of that, they got a lot of things moving. They really doing their thing, and I'm proud of them. I'm excited. I'm excited for you all, and hopefully you all build the dream house that you want. Business takes off. I think it's a very very interesting and lucrative business, and I always like to highlight the fact that she's another example of what I like to highlight regarding someone who saw a product, just going to work like a regular day at work, saw a problem to solve, and created a business to solve that problem. Right? She's sitting there at work. She's like, man, we dealing with all these high end customers, and she saw like, hey, there are a lot of people that are not in this space, in this income bracket that I can serve, on a lower level, and so boom, business was formed. So if y'all watching this and you going to work every day and you trying to think about what it is that you want to get into from an entrepreneurial perspective, uh, just look around. There's probably a idea sitting right in front of you. So y'all tell me what you think. All right. It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.